Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our webinar, Mind-Body Approaches to Fatigue and Brain Fog. I'm your host, Alina Zlanian, Director of Programs at SAA. Our guest speaker, of course, today is Nancy O'Brien, and I'll introduce her to you in just a moment. But she has created a helpful handout noting key concepts and resources so that you can just watch and relax and not worry about having to take notes. So thank you so much, Nancy, for doing that for us. SAA is a nonprofit organization focused on meeting the needs of the spondylitis community. We are committed to research, support, education, and advocacy, and couldn't do any of it without the support of our members and donors. So big thank you for everyone for making today's program possible and for your ongoing support. And finally, allow me to introduce Nancy O'Brien. She is a certified yoga therapist specializing in pain and chronic health conditions. Nancy works to bring mind-body practices to people living with chronic health challenges through classes, workshops, presentations, and of course, webinars such as these. Nancy is certified by the International Association of Yoga Therapists and associated with New York's Hospital for Special Surgery, Yoga for Arthritis, and Integral Yoga Institute. So welcome, Nancy, and thank you so much for lending us your time and expertise today.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks.
It's truly wonderful to have you here.
It's so interesting to see the answers to those questions because as Aline and others from SAA have told me, and why we're doing this, beyond pain, fatigue and brain fog really do impact our lives. And so having been in a medically challenging situation for the last 20 years, I find these practices that I'm going to share with you today to be very accessible, empowering, hopeful practices that you may be able to use to address the fatigue and brain fog. It's not going to make it go away, but it's going to help us to understand and have a kind of a different relationship with the fatigue and the brain fog. Next slide, please, Aline. What does fatigue feel like? Does this look familiar? Everyone, some days, this is a quote from the SAA website. Some days it feels like wanting to blend into the sofa so that none of my family members will notice that I'm there or ask or expect me to do anything. And I bet that that does sound familiar. Next, please. There's a difference between fatigue and tiredness. And it's an important understanding for those of us who are challenged by fatigue. After a night's sleep, we may still be tired. So that's the difference between needing sleep or being fatigued. The tiredness goes away when you feel, well, you've had a good night's sleep, which a lot of times we don't have a good night's sleep. But when we do, the tiredness would go away and you feel refreshed. But fatigue doesn't go away after a nap or a night's sleep. It can be a frequent companion with spondyloarthritis and other related conditions. And the next slide, Aline, is going to kind of give us a clue. Next, please. Aline? Here we go. Yeah. The SAA reports that most people experience fatigue. Another quote from the website, it's such an overwhelming sense of exhaustion. Arms and legs feel like lead. There's a sense of failure, even though you know the failure is not the case, from Crystal in Cleveland. Next, please. So where does your energy, which is kind of like gas in a car, you know, we have a certain amount of energy, where does it go when fatigue is our experience? It goes into healing. It goes into processing the medications. It goes into dealing with the pain that we are living with. It goes into musculoskeletal challenges. The energy is needed for dealing with inflammation, for the constant immune system attempts to balance and regulate and deal with our issues, our spondyloarthritis issues and other related conditions. It's organs striving to function with the challenges of this condition. Then our just usual energy draws, circulation, digestion, breathing. Next, please, Elaine. With sleep, there are the usual interrupters: depression, medications, worry, pain, flares. And the effects, and this is research-based, the effects from losing even just a little bit of sleep are poorer judgment, poorer choices for care, less motivation for movement, reflexes may be slower, less interest in socializing. And when it happens day after day after day, which is a frequent condition with spondyloarthritis and other related conditions, it really leads to physical and mental burnout. Next, please. And then when you add pain, and physical challenges, which makes concentration difficult, what's the result? Brain fog. Next, please. So we're dealing with brain fog and fatigue. And maybe these sound familiar for the brain fog, for those of you who experience that, forgetting what you're supposed to buy at the supermarket, embarrassment over struggling for words or forgetting, difficulty communicating, avoiding activities because of that embarrassment and that difficulty, and afraid to try something because you think you may not do it right. Next, please, Elaine. We always also have difficulty with short-term memory and a sense of fear and insecurity, the withdrawal from the socializing and relationships, a loss of independence because of the effects of brain fog, and then also possible and not surprising depression. Please, another slide. So what I'm here to tell you today is that your body and your medical team and you, I'm sure, are trying your best to deal with the challenges. And so we want to honor the body for the choices that it makes with the brain, with the immune system, with the nervous system. Have some compassion for yourself. You deserve it. Applaud your body for putting healing above other priorities. So you may feel really exhausted, but that energy is going into dealing with the challenges that are presented by these conditions, these significant energy drains. Support your bodies. You can support your body's efforts to heal and function. You have that power. And these practices that we'll be experiencing and sampling today, some of them may really resonate with you and allow you then to take advantage of the power that you do have. These relaxing, supportive mind-body practices have been shown in research to help free up this precious energy that we have. Next, please, Elaine. So the mind-body practices that we find effective for fatigue, instead of thinking that you have to go to the gym to get stronger or to build up energy or to, stretch your muscles or anything like that and feel guilty for not going, calming, mindful breathing practices, an intention of compassion and gratitude. And we'll be experiencing these. Gentle, supported, mindful movement, meditation and mini meditations throughout your day, things that you don't have to go to a class, you don't have to listen to a webinar to do. You'll be able to do these on your own when you need them, with kindness to yourself, without feeling guilty. Guided healing visualizations, the deep relaxation we'll experience at the end, And a good outlet, a good practice of self-compassion is understanding that there are different kinds of yoga that really work well for these conditions, the fatigue and the brain fog. Restorative yoga, these are what you can look for in your neighborhood or online. Gentle yoga, yoga for arthritis and chronic pain, accessible yoga, therapeutic yoga. All of these types of yoga more or less have developed and really become available more so in the last 5 to 10 years. So there's a lot more out there than was before. And I give on the handout tips for being able to access these kinds of yoga that are supportive for spondyloarthritis and other related conditions. Next, please. So for brain fog, and we're going to experience these, we really want to own the moment and kind of clear our nervous system from the embarrassment, the fear, the worry, the difficulty. Not that it's going to improve or get rid of it, but that we're going to be able to de-stress. And when we're de-stressed, the brain fog can at least have an opportunity to take a little break, at least calm down a bit. Visualizations, guided meditations, we're going to do this. We're going to become a mountain, strong, still, powerful, just for a moment. And we're also going to experience box breath, which is something that is associated with Navy SEALs. So they do these kinds of practices. And so if it's working for the Navy SEALs, we can figure that it may be good for stressful situations, difficult situations. And one thing that this box breath 3-4-5 practice that we're going to experience really takes advantage of is something that research is backing up recently, that when you have a longer exhalation than your inhalation, then that sends a powerful signal to the brain that you're not running from a tiger, you're not really in a highly stressful situation, and you're able to switch the body over into calmer nervous system state, de-stressing the body. So we'll experience that. Next, please, Aline. This is what yoga looks like. This is restorative yoga. This is therapeutic yoga. It's supported so that you are able to release and open up the body. This probably looks pretty good to everybody. And these are two students who live with difficult arthritis conditions. This is a forward bend. You can see that their knees are supported, their bellies and chests are supported. These supports build up into a position that supports them where they are. It doesn't ask them or require them to do anything other than just feel the support. Next, please. So, of course, we want to always speak to our healthcare team, our healthcare providers before starting a yoga practice so that you know any limitations or restrictions that you must follow to keep yourself safe. And choose an experienced, well-trained teacher or yoga therapist who understands your condition and challenges, and you can check the handout later for more information on that. Thank you. So next is the handout. Mind-body practices for fatigue and brain fog. So the reason that you have the handout available either on your computer or if you'd like to print it out is that so you don't have to take notes now. You can just relax and try the experiences that we're going to have and be able to refer later to the handout for the instructions that I'll be giving you today. So don't worry about the handout now. You can just sit back, relax, and participate as much as you feel comfortable doing. I hope you're in a comfortable position. All right. So the first thing that's most important really is a practice of self-compassion. It's easy to feel compassion for others, but the practice of compassion is most powerful with these challenges of fatigue and brain fog when we are able to practice compassion for ourselves, which is much easier said than done. So this will be a practice of self-compassion. Get very comfortable and just close your eyes for a moment, as long as that's safe for you and comfortable for you. And as you breathe in, imagine you're breathing into your heart. And allow yourself then to feel compassion for someone in your life who it's very easy to feel compassion for, or a group. And as you exhale, feel this intention of the exhalation like a breeze being directed to that person or that group or that being. It could be a pet. Wishing compassion for them, sending them compassion. Breathing in, you can expand the belly, the lower ribs, the upper chest for that nice full breath in. And as you exhale from your heart, wish that person, that group, compassion. Very human feeling that we're summoning up now, that ability to feel compassion for others. Now I'm going to ask you, as you breathe in, to just switch out the image of the person or the group that you were thinking of and put your own image there. And as you breathe out this compassion, direct it to yourself. You certainly deserve it. You wouldn't be here listening today if you didn't have these challenges to deal with. Breathing in, feel that compassion in your heart. And breathing out, direct that compassion to yourself. Allow yourself to be a little vulnerable and to send this wish of compassion, this intention of compassion through your head, your chest, your belly, your legs, your feet. One more time, breathe in to your heart, summon up that feeling of compassion, and direct that compassion as you exhale to yourself. Good. So most important in dealing with these challenges is that ability, more than once a day, to be able to just take a moment and direct an intention of compassion to yourself. Another good thing to do that would help, and building on this sense of self-compassion, being kind to yourself, is to take mini rests throughout the day. Turn off your computer, turn off your phone, don't eat, don't watch. Just take a moment, take a break from reading, watching TV, and focus on your breath. The 3-part breath in yoga allows us to take full advantage of the body, the torso, to make the breath as deep and clear as possible. So expand the belly, expand the lower ribs, expand the upper chest. You can move your elbows out just to help with the rib cage expanding. And as you exhale, draw those upper ribs in, draw the lower ribs in, draw the belly in like a sit-up, so that you're really taking full advantage of your muscles, your rib cage, your abdominal muscles, your spinal muscles, all your breathing muscles, to deepen that breath, which again sends a powerful signal to the brain. The brain keeps track of that. So nice breath in. I'm breathing in. And exhale, I'm breathing out. You can feel like a mountain waterfall, just rinsing any layer of tension down through the body, through the head, through the shoulders, through the chest, through your heart, through your belly, where we hold most of our stress, through the hips, the legs, and the feet. So this is just a breath or two, a mindful breath or two during this mini rest that you give yourself throughout the day that helps to reduce the stress in the body, which can translate to a little bit less of a drain on your energy. This is energy boosting as opposed to energy draining. So we're going to experience box breath now. And that's box breath 3, 4, 5. So sit up if that's possible for you, and we're going to trace a box with the hand. This counts as meditation, and it's also calming, the one that the Navy SEALs do. Inhale up, side of the box, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, 4, top of the box. Exhale, down the side of the box, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Again, up the side of the box, 2, 3, across, 2, 3, 4, holding. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Let's do it now, just imagining that we're using our hands to trace the box. So let's say you need to calm down, you're waiting on the phone with the insurance company or something stressful, and you just want to be able to do this without having to move your hands. Imagine the hand going up the side of the box to the count of 1, 2, 3, across the top, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and along the bottom of the box, hold. Box breath, 3, 4, 5. The people that I work with find this very accessible. It's not as if you have to sit in a cave and meditate. This is a meditation. This is a calming breathing practice. And so I hope you try it out just when you need it to calm yourself down and see how that works. Taking advantage of the nice longer exhalation than inhalation to help de-stress the body. So yoga pose next in our experience is a yoga pose that allows us, especially when we have brain fog, to treat ourselves in a compassionate way, to recognize I'm really having a difficult time figuring out what I was supposed to do. I can't remember. I'm looking for words. And so mountain pose, one of the foundational poses of yoga, is a beautiful practice anytime throughout the day or even laying in bed. So we're going to do this now. This can be done seated, which is what I would like for you to do now. But beyond this webinar, you can do it standing if that's possible for you, with supports around you, like against the wall or with chairs around you so you have support, or even laying down, mountain pose. So first, we're going to envision grounding ourselves through our sits bones, our pelvic floor. So we think about the sits bones, move from side to side a little bit, just to establish a wonderful, kind seat for ourselves. And then begin that 3-part breath, belly, ribs, and chest. And as we exhale, just feel another layer of tension, perhaps rinsing down with that mountain waterfall through the face, the jaw, the brain, the shoulders, the chest, the belly, the legs, the feet. Good. Now we're going to lift the toes, as long as that's not painful for you. If it is painful or if it's not possible, we just imagine that we're lifting the toes. And then, now this is going to be impossible, but we're going to try to do it just in our minds, visualize that one toe at a time we're going to place down. So the little toe on the right foot gets a little attention and it goes down, and the ring toe, the middle toe, the mommy toe, the daddy toe. Grip with your foot, move the foot from side to side, the leg, and then switch to the other foot. Toes up, little toe down, of course, it's impossible, but just give that little toe a little attention. Ring toe, middle toe, mommy toe, daddy toe. This is very helpful when you're trying to make that connection with your feet, the first responders when it comes to our balance sometimes. And then shift that leg from side to side. Good. Now we're just going to move the knees a little bit and then forward and back as long as it's comfortable from the sits bones, from your pelvic floor. You're just shifting forward and back, maybe side to side. As long as it doesn't hurt, shoulders up with the breath, back and down. And if not possible, just imagine, just like an athlete, visualizing their performance, their tennis serve or skiing down the mountain. These visualizations of movement register and benefit us through the brain. And then a little bit of a bobblehead just swiveling from that pivot joint at the top of the spine, which is right between the ears. So imagine that atlas joint. I'm simplifying it medically here, but just moving the head at the top of the spine there, lubricating. And now become a mountain. Choose a mountain if you'd like, a Himalayan mountain or a Rocky Mountain. And from the waist down, we're the mountain below ground. So feel heavy and surrounded by bedrock for a moment. So this would
5 minutes to go into meditation.
Thank you, Aline. So imagine yourself surrounded by bedrock from the waist down. Really feel that support. Relax your back. Relax into that support with your legs, your big thigh muscles, your calves, your feet, and feel heavy from the waist down. And then from that grounded, centered feeling, effortlessly rise with a nice breath that brings length into the spine. And be the mountain above ground, crown of the head in the clouds. And then again, that mountain waterfall on the exhalation can bring another layer of intention of relaxation through your jaw, through your brain, through your chest, through your heart, belly, legs. Now with that energy grounded and centered from the waist down and effortlessly rising from the waist up, whether you're seated or standing or reclining, you can do this. Become that mountain. Imagine yourself powerful, still. Take a breath or two. Just owning the moment. Great. Mountain pose. So I hope that you can integrate the box breath, 3, 4, 5, the practice of self-compassion, taking mini rests throughout the day, this mountain pose that you can do at work, on a bus, in a doctor's office, in an MRI, on the phone, into your day and into your night. So many of us have difficulty sleeping, and this is the kind of body scan and grounding and breathing practice, this mountain pose, that can at least give us something to do in bed that's beneficial and de-stressing instead of laying there looking at the clock and worrying about not having any sleep. So next we're going to do the gold standard of deep relaxation. This is an ancient practice, but research has shown in the last 20 years or so how effective it is in really bringing us a deeper level of relaxation. So I encourage you to experience this today, but also to bring it into your routine, day, night, once a day, at least once a week, because it is so helpful to the body and opening up and releasing tension that is just so understandable with the challenges that we're dealing with. So please get yourself as comfortable as possible. And just begin to engage your right leg. You can lift it up an inch or two if you want to, but you don't have to. And just wiggle the toes and circle the ankle as long as it doesn't hurt, the knee, the hip. And then squeeze all the muscles toward the bone. Inhale. And exhale, release. Other leg. Wiggle the toes, circle the ankle. Move the knee from side to side at the hip. And squeeze all the muscles toward the bone. Make a fist with your foot, as long as that doesn't aggravate any pain that you have. Inhale and exhale, release that leg. Both arms now up, circle, wiggle fingers, wrists, as long as it's not painful. If it is painful, you just do one arm, or you only move a little bit, or you just imagine that you're moving. Elbows, shoulders, and strong like Popeye. And exhale. This could be done beyond this webinar today, laying down or seated or reclining in any way that's comfortable. Now, engage the buttocks, draw everything up. Inhale, all those big muscles. And exhale, release. Roll the hips from side to side. Good. And then big breath into the belly. Sip in more air, hold it. And sigh. Inhale into the chest. Sip in more air, hold it. Open the mouth and sigh. Squeeze the face, face yoga. Cheeks, eyes, nose, mouth. Inhale, squeeze and release. Now for lion pose. We're going to think of something that we'd like to roar at. Sure, you have plenty of possibilities. And we're going to raise the eyebrows, open the eyes, open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Inhale and roar. Ah! Good. Notice how that roar may just loosen things up a little bit, and follow that loosening to add movement, if possible, to the neck, the jaw. Good. And then come to stillness. We're going to scan the body. Many of you have experienced these relaxation exercises before, practices. If you haven't, you'll enjoy it, I think. So as we scan the body, though, in this particular practice, instead of moving things that feel like they want to move as we come across them, we want to send intention of relaxation, like a pebble in a still pond. Just send that intention to release within the stillness. And then after you try that, if you still feel like you need to move, go right ahead. So get as comfortable as possible, lean back, support yourself in any way that feels good, but be sure that you're safe. And then let's, in stillness, bring the focus to the toes. Relax the toes. The space between the toes relaxes. The balls of the feet relax. The arches and the heels relax. Tops and bottoms of the feet relax and open. Gratitude to the feet. Relaxation now swirling like a wave or a breeze or even a healing color through the ankles, all those ligaments, all those tiny little bones, spaciousness. And feel that spacious relaxation up through the shins and the calves, all around the knees, up into the thighs, deep into the bones, out to the large muscles, and even the skin opens and relaxes. And let the legs just surrender into this relaxation, feeling filled with and surrounded by this healing energy. Bring the focus now to your fingers. Every knuckle relaxes, the palms and backs of the hands, the wrists. Feel the relaxation up through the forearms, all around the elbows, up into the upper arms and deep into the shoulders. Release. any holding possible through the shoulders and the arms. And let the arms and hands just completely relax. Feel this relaxation now at the base of the spine, rising, lower back, middle back, upper back, spacious, open. Relaxation radiating from the lower back through the hips, the pelvis, the lower abdomen. Relaxation from the middle back around to the sides of the waist, the front of the belly, and then penetrating into the abdominal organs. Send that intention of relaxing. And from the upper back, relaxation through the ribs, side ribs, front chest. Loosen the grip on your sternum with the rib tips. Give your chest a little break from protecting the vital organs, the rib cage, sending the message, I'm safe here. Heart and lungs soften and open. Collarbones broaden. Relaxation at the base of the throat, rising, front, back, and sides of the neck, relax, base of the skull, back of the head, sides of the head, top of the head, open. Eyes, nose, and mouth relax. Corners of the eyes deepen. Feel relaxation between the eyebrows radiating across the brow, through the temples, through the brain. Jaw relaxes. Let all expression melt off your face. Take a step back from the body now and see the body at rest. Bring the focus now to the breath. And without changing the breath, just watch your own breath, the gentle rise and fall the breath creates in the body. Returning again and again to the focus on the breath, even though your mind may wander. And then bring the focus to the mind. Take a step back from your own mind and see the activities, the perceptions, the feelings, the pain in your own mind, but from a bit of a distance, like watching clouds passing. Allow those clouds, even the space between the breaths, the space between the clouds, to broaden and deepen. And allow yourself to drop into that space, going deeper and deeper into your own sense of wholeness, your own deepest source of healing and relaxation, peace. Inhabit this peace, this stillness. Let it fill you and surround you, no boundaries, skin open. And rest deeply here for the next few moments and enjoy it. Gently begin to bring the focus back to the breath. And very gently begin to deepen the breath, expanding the belly a little bit, the lower ribs, just slightly, upper chest. And as you exhale, let go of all that does not serve you. Release it. Upper ribs come in, lower ribs, belly to the spine, gentle releasing. Making space for that next breath to bring fresh, vital energy deep into every cell, the space between every cell. Bringing compassion and relaxation to your body, honoring your body, supporting your body's efforts to heal and deal with the challenges it faces. Once more, exhale fully and mindfully, drawing those upper ribs in. Find those muscles as long as it doesn't hurt. Lower ribs, belly to the spine, releasing another layer of tension, unnecessary stress. Protection around pain that's no longer needed. It may have been there for a long time. You still need it, but sometimes the edges can release and open up a little bit. Return the breath to normal. Invite some movement back into the fingers and toes, arms and legs, making a memory of this feeling so that it becomes more accessible, this de-stressed, relaxed, peaceful feeling, your birthright. Deepen the breath, move around a little bit, come back to the room, come back to your computer. The handout gives a link for this deep relaxation so that you can click on it and listen to me doing the same thing that we just did anytime. And again, I want to encourage you to try these practices in the course of your day or your night. When you can't sleep, try them. When you're frustrated in the middle of the day, carry the handout with you. If you'd like to print it out, put it up on your refrigerator. And I hope that you find some benefit from them. And at least that you feel very justified in being kind to yourself and supporting your own body's efforts to heal and to function. Thank you very much. Aline?
Thank you, Nancy, so much for that relaxing, grounding, just wonderful presentation. I appreciate it, and I know our attendees, I hope they took away some wonderful tips that they can remember and got to enjoy some relaxed, peaceful time with you. We are now moving into our Q&A session. So if you haven't yet, please type your question into the Q&A module that's in the bottom of your screen, a little ribbon. We will read them out loud for Nancy to answer, getting to as many as we possibly can. So I am going to read a few that we've gotten throughout the webinar, and then please do go ahead and type additional questions into the ribbon so we can address them. So the first question is, how long does it usually take to see changes from doing yoga?
Even the research into yoga, more and more research is being done, can show an effect after one session. You yourself perhaps can feel the benefit of a mindful breathing or the mountain pose, just in the how you feel before and how you feel after you've tried it once. So a regular practice of yoga with an experienced and understanding teacher can feel really different after the first session. But continuing at your own pace as is possible, it just shows continued support. The good thing about yoga is it meets you where you are today. So today you may be feeling fine with spondyloarthritis and other related conditions. Tomorrow you may not feel so fine. And so the effects of the yoga practice are basically in being able to meet yourself where you are at this moment. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next question is, so I have been unsuccessful with any form of yoga. I have significant spinal stenosis at all levels of my spine. Stretching manipulations that involve the muscles of my back end up irritating the nerve roots, and I end up having to stop yoga. What options do you recommend for someone in my situation?
I'm so sorry that you have met with these challenges in yoga. And perhaps today you were able to experience the restorative, releasing, opening, relaxing aspect of yoga that a yoga therapist or a yoga for arthritis teacher or a restorative yoga teacher may be able to impart to you in a very kind way. That's why it's so important to have an experienced, compassionate, well-trained yoga teacher, because generally the first thing that they're going to try to do with you is find a way to bring you more comfort and not aggravate the nerve roots so that they can relax and you can feel a little bit more at ease. And then the movement and the stretching and stuff occurs at a time when you feel that you are able to do that without aggravation, especially in these kinds of conditions. So the whole idea of no pain, no gain does not apply in your situation at all. The value of yoga and these meditative practices are to be able to calm down as much as possible the nerve roots and the aggravation of the pain and the condition that you have.
Thank you very much.
Eileen, I wanted to say on the handout, there are some resources for where you can try to find these kinds of yoga teachers and yoga therapists.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't sleep past 3 a.m. due to pain. I stretch both before going to bed and before getting out. Nothing helps. Any suggestions?
Well, the body scan can be helpful. So that, and an intention of compassion or something that you need, maybe some patience or strength or forgiveness, choosing the practices that we talked about today, that intention, doing the breath, and then perhaps just beginning with your toes and doing a little squeezing and releasing and then relaxing, sending that powerful intention to your toes, to your feet, the deep relaxation that we just did, or even especially listening to either my deep relaxation or the tons of deep relaxations that are available on YouTube or online may be helpful to you. And even if then you can't sleep, you are at least relaxing the body and taking advantage of that time that you're awake to bring yourself some de-stressing. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. Next question is, are there any online apps that are geared to yoga for arthritis or another gentle yoga practice I can do in my home?
Absolutely. And the last year or two has brought excellent resources online, and some of them are mentioned on the handout. For instance, Yoga for Arthritis can direct you and has practices that you can watch. There are free ones, there are ones that you can subscribe to, but look for those words: restorative yoga, therapeutic yoga, accessible yoga, um, and uh, and and there are many good choices available now. And you can do them through, if you do them, for instance, through Yoga for Arthritis or the International Association of Yoga Therapists, then you will be getting um, practices that are safe and give you the right, guidelines to be able to keep yourself safe. Being with a teacher is the best, but I know that oftentimes we can't do that. So luckily, there are good choices and resources available online when you search them.
That's great to hear. Does temperature of the room affect yoga or meditation?
Definitely. I wouldn't recommend, for instance, hot yoga at all because it loosens things up to the point that can be harmful. I don't want to say blanket that hot yoga is harmful, but I would definitely be sure that your doctor says it's safe. Um, However, a comfortable tension is the best. You really don't want to be sweating. I mean, that's going to drain your energy too. You want to think of a yoga practice at this point as something that supports you and gives you more energy instead of taking the energy. So it's exercise, at the gym can give you strength, but also drain your energy. It can give you energy in a different way. But I think the idea here is to learn the balance of how to relax, how to release, how to open so that the healing powers of your body don't have such resistance in the stress of your body to have to overcome just to do what they need to do.
Thank you. So we have just about 2 minutes left. I'm seeing so many great questions come in and a couple of really wonderful and thought-provoking comments. I'm going to just read a couple of the comments and Nancy, maybe a really, really quick feedback on them. So one is from an anonymous attendee saying, I realize listening to this that when I think of myself as being lazy, perhaps it is fatigue that I feel. Maybe that is why I choose
Absolutely.
not to do things. I thought that
Yes.
was so profound.
It's exactly what we're talking about. You want to feel kindness towards yourself. I mean, my goodness, the challenges that you and your body have, really deserve this compassion. So the idea that you're feeling lazy or guilty, forget that. Give yourself some deep relaxation. Do a little mountain pose. Be kind to yourself. You really, really need that to be able to open up your body's ability to function as well as it possibly can and react to the medications and the challenges
That's right.
that you live with.
Another quick one I'll read is it was empowering to hear that brain fog is justified as the body is choosing to prioritize healing and even processing medication. I just want to say that this was wonderful, and I thank you, Nancy, for sharing your expertise and your time with us. And thanks to all of you for spending this last hour with us. We hope you found it calming, rejuvenating, and informative. Until next
Thank,
time,
thank you for doing this.
thank you. Goodbye, everyone.